Welcome back, everybody. You got Will and Iman here from the Block Runner MetaZone, Rovi, and MScribe. And today, we're going to be talking about STX20.
Stacks, dude. Not just, well, you didn't know, maybe, that STX20 is a stacks thing. We've been talking about stacks in the past, right?
Right. But
why?
This was dropped yesterday, though.
Correct. So, yeah, we've been talking about stacks in the context of what to do. So what are we going to do about these crazy fees on Bitcoin and such? It seems only stacks is really positioned, allegedly,
since 2013.
Yeah, to kind of like soak up some of these transaction dilemmas, right? But if you got into this STX20 craze over the last 24 hours, you kind of got to experience like it's not necessarily like a solution to today's current day, scaling issues of Bitcoin.
Right.
In other words, it's very slow.
Yeah.
And it's expensive, just like Bitcoin. Not as expensive because it's not as congested yet. But yeah, it's very similar of a user experience, right? So that's just my own personal report on what I've experienced so far.
Others have reported the exact same thing.
Correct. So, but that's not like this big knock on what Stacks is, right? Because it is a programmable layer on top of Bitcoin. It's been a second layer. And there are some major upgrades on the horizon that are supposed to kind of like address these major concerns with the fee environment, right? So
the Nakamoto update.
Correct. So that apparently is scheduled for like Q2 area of next year.
That's a long time, dude.
That is a long time. So possibly within the next 6 months, we'll have like an actual scalable execution environment on Bitcoin.
Yeah, and the way that Stacks works, I was reading their docs, it's a parallel chain to Bitcoin.
Correct.
So every 10 minutes is a new Stacks block.
Correct, which is exactly what I'm talking about. I still feel all the same pain points of being a Bitcoin user on Stacks. So yeah, having said all that, STX20 still, it's what do you think it is, dude?
It's a competitor to BRC20.
Right. It's part of the pandemic that we've kind of identified and predicted a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
This inscription, digital artifact mania is going to spread and permeate throughout all of Web3, and it pretty much has.
So you're saying STX20 wouldn't exist if inscriptions didn't exist?
No, of course not.
Interesting.
Yeah, so BRC20's got the show started. Every other chain's having a blast. Literally some chains are collapsing in real time because there's so much enthusiasm for this stuff.
And we're going to talk about that in another video.
We are. But I just wanted to that's like a preface, right? It's made its way to layer 2 on Bitcoin, right? Interesting, right? Fine. So there's a lot happening here.
Yeah, so let's take a look at all the STX tokens that have been generated since 24 hours ago.
24 hours ago, dude.
My goodness.
As you would expect, there's been quite the pour-in of participation, right?
And so this link here, I don't think it was meant to be public, but somehow somebody leaked it or something because this is not full production URLs here. Well,
you got to just get the information out there as quick as possible, dude.
Yeah, I guess.
Not enough time for the bells and whistles,
launching a proper website,
Well, all you want to know is, hit that % minted button just to kind of like sort it.
Okay.
That way we can kind of like get in spectacles view. So a lot of these 100% mints are like people, I guess, basically blacklisting names because as you can see, it's just like a single mint, like mints out the entire supply. It's kind of like a Sophon attack in a sense.
Yeah.
Remember those?
So, but why? Why?
I don't know. Maybe somebody doesn't like this. And he's like, you know what? I'm just going to black out all these names by minting the entire supply off the rip.
Huh.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
But if you scroll down deep, once you get past this like graveyard of names, bruh's gone forever. Sorry, guys. Can't be no bruh. No bruh meme.
Ellen. Elon.
Google.
Huobi.
Internet is forever locked.
Why would someone do this, Iman?
I don't know, dude. Good thing they took Meta.
Meta?
Good riddance. All right. But eventually you're going to get to
OnlyFans.
So PayPay is an actual legitimate. So if you go to the right and you see the mint 6969.
Yeah.
That's not the total supply. So that's an actually fully minted out STX20 token. So congratulations to the PayPay minters. Hooray.
Yeah.
But eventually you're going to get past this graveyard of single mint STX20 tokens. And you're going to find some actual mints in progress, right?
Well, I guess we got.
There they are.
We gotta scroll way past this.
Yeah.
Yuga Labs has been minted out.
Okay.
Okay, so now we have Binance. So million. So there's 21,000 of these. BTC. What is BFF? I think it stands for something, right?
I think so. And then of course we got Munib.
Munib.
If you don't know who Munib is, this is the founder of Stacks, right?
Right.
Possibly the whole architect of everything that's booming in Bitcoin. My own personal theory, but who knows? But yeah, so this is just, we've seen this before, right? Yeah. Anytime a new token protocol has emerged, and it seems like we're getting a new one of these every single week.
Right.
Right. Last week was CBRC20s. And then, you know, we have tap tokens, pipe tokens. We've got atomicals. We've got stamps and SRC20s and such. Yeah. I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
So how are you supposed to know that what's the one to mint here?
Well, the one was typically the first one, right? Which in this case for Stacks, it was STXS. Literally, that's the ticker. So that one was minted out pretty quickly, as you can imagine. Like all the first tokens to a new protocol.
Yeah.
They do mint out pretty quick. Because typically those, everybody's chasing Ordi type games.
There's only 1,000 of them.
Well, that's wrong. That's STSX.
Which one did you say?
STXS. There it is. Right below it.
STXS.
21 milli. Another arbitrary supply, as usual.
Yeah. 1,000 of these. So 21,000 mints.
This is very standard stuff, right? We saw this with Ordi. We saw this with, what's CBRC20's first token called? I think it was called Board.
Board, yeah.
Yeah, we're seeing this across the board, right? There's a huge rush for the first token. And then, let's start making some meme tokens and throw them out there and see which ones stick.
Right.
So we're getting into like a perpetual game of like dart throwing here in this whole like inscription space.
Right.
And apparently it's the most fun game in all of Web3, which is why it's like a pandemic at this point. Yeah.
Okay, so
as you can imagine, this is a wild success, right?
Yeah, I guess.
You can see it here in these following tweets. Here we go. This is the notification. First token's going live. Website will be posted soon, which it was.
Okay, and then next tweet.
So this is it. This is how you leverage, I guess, like the platform.
Okay.
To explore, you can enter your ticker there. It'll tell you.
And Alex Labs, I saw that they had a video that explained how to do all the minting for STX.
Yeah, Xverse as well. Xverse put out.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Okay. All right. See, Joe here says Stacks humming along in the definitive smart contract platform for Bitcoin. Stacks contain 10,000 transactions in block, 132,000. The amount transactions ever in a block on Stacks driven by STX20 inscription. So one block. So remember, we have parallel blocks, right, to Bitcoin. Yeah. And on Bitcoin, on average, we're getting anywhere between 3,000 to 4,000 transactions.
Something like that,
roughly. Yeah. Well, this one had 10,000 transactions on a Stacks block.
Imagine that bitmap, dude.
Yeah.
Wink, wink. I don't know who's going to be out there.
Well, on this list, I did see a stack map.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but it's just a fungible token, so.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a stack map variant very soon.
Yeah.
Hitting the market, considering there's only 132,000 blocks, right? I mean, you're talking about a scarce metaverse standard. Yeah. It's pretty damn scarce, so it's interesting to see. But yeah, the great takeaway here is pretty much the majority of these previous blocks leading up to that one were probably pretty sparse.
Yeah.
Probably pretty sparse as far as activity, even though Stacks is bringing a lot of value to Bitcoin, being like a programmable layer to Bitcoin. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
We've been talking about how everything that's happening in ordinals is great and all, but it's largely dumb assets that don't really do much.
Yeah.
You can't really build new protocols with these tokens or new ecosystems and such because you can't implement any logic or function into them, right?
Yeah.
So it's a big deal what Stacks is doing, but it wasn't until the introduction of these inscriptions the activity has ramped up. Right.
Yeah, so we're looking at a GitHub here. It says Stacks20 protocol innovating inscriptions on Stacks. This protocol introduces a novel approach to creating and sharing digital artifacts on the Stacks blockchain. It leverages a transaction memo field to offer a more efficient, gas-saving alternative to conventional smart contracts for specific use cases.
Yeah.
This method not only requires less computational effort, but also pays homage to Bitcoin culture.
Sweet.
The anticipated Nakamoto upgrade is set to enhance Stacks' decentralization and integration with Bitcoin network, highlighting the importance of an inscription standard like STX20 on Stacks. It's interesting that Stacks is a smart contract layer on Bitcoin.
Yes.
And they're using the memo field to create artifacts, which is largely a field where no intelligent management of data.
The absence of programmability is what you're saying.
That's right.
Yeah, we're seeing, again, this is kind of like the trend that is permeating, even like on Ethereum with inscriptions and stuff. Yeah. It's like, hey, we have this whole protocol with like programmability in mind, right? Embedded as part of that is like the infrastructure, the purpose.
That's the point, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, we're just going to ignore all that.
Yeah.
And leverage like this specific component called the call data field or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And issue these completely non-intelligent digital assets.
Yeah.
Right? And the market fucking loves it. They're eating it all up, dude. And it's so, yeah, we're seeing, of course, Stacks, like their main value contribution to Bitcoin is like programmability. Market doesn't want it. We want inscriptions, digital artifacts, right? It's interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting.
So again, we're going to have another video down the line explaining what this all means.
Yeah.
Like, where do we all go from here? Like, as a market, right? It's like a huge transition period.
Yeah. This is another phase of the cycle that we're about to enter. Yeah. All right. So now we're looking at the Alex Lab bridge. So bridge your Bitcoin to a BTC. And we're going to talk about like how that works exactly. So once you connect your wallet, you can kind of bridge your assets.
Yeah. And if you're around during Ethereum days, the concept of bridging, very familiar to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all experienced this during the last NFT bull market. It's like, damn, dude, everything is just too congested on layer one.
Yeah, you know what you use to bridge? Smart contracts.
Yeah.
Those are leveraged in these bridges.
Hence Alex Labs, dude. This is a smart contract platform, right?
Right.
Leveraging stacks. You can't do things like bridging tokens, wrapping them, and, autonomously, I guess, delivering them to different recipients and such. This is logic.
Yeah.
This is programmed.
Yeah, and remember, there has been a Bitcoin token that has been wrapped on Ethereum called Wrap BTC, right? Yeah. That is a custodial token, as is custodial for the bridge for Alex Labs. The Bitcoin bridge is custodial on the BTC, and BRC20 tokens being bridged are held in a multi-sig wallet on Bitcoin. Users can monitor the reserves in real time.
So what are the dangers here, dude, considering...
Well,
I mean, the big protection here is the multi-sig component, right? Because if you're monitoring reserves, those are like locked up funds, right?
Yeah, I guess there isn't that much risk in a multi-sig wallet unless you don't trust the people holding the keys in that multi-sig. That's potentially the only risk. Now, if you are afraid of like quantum computing, then yeah.
Nobody's afraid of that. Let's not even worry about that one, dude. It's fine. It's fine.
Right. But other than that, there shouldn't be a worry.
I mean, there's this whole new risk now, risk introduction. I mean, bridges for one.
Well, but hold on. So that's what I was getting to is that the bridges on Ethereum, they get hacked all the time.
All the time.
Right? Because
there's Solana and every other chain.
Yeah. Because they're smart contracts. So there's vulnerabilities in the smart contracts. And this one isn't a smart contract in the sense because you are sending it to a multi-sig, and that multi-sig is protected with cryptography, right? So that's why the only risk factor is quantum computing.
Interesting.
And the people holding the keys, and that's about it.
Damn, dude. Sounds like Alex Labs like trained you for that explanation because that's a big deal.
Yeah, it is absolutely.
That's a huge added value to the security of all this, right? Because when I first heard of smart contracts and, locked reserves and such, I was immediately thinking like, how long, like the countdown timer to like that shit getting fucked.
Yeah. So let's,
just because we have Ethereum PTSD,
Yeah, for sure.
Like tons of these smart contracts get exploited.
Absolutely.
Even after like 10 separate audits and such.
Yeah, you still get hacked.
Still happens.
100%. So let's walk through the flow here. So user sends a BTC or BRC20 to a multi-sig, right? So that right there, you're safe. This is like you're protected by cryptography.
Yeah.
Okay. Then a relayer who reads this data says, "Oh, okay, bridge endpoint triggers smart contract." That says, "Okay, this guy sent his Bitcoin. I'm going to generate new Bitcoin on this sidechain, and I'm going to generate it via smart contract and then send it to that user."
Yeah.
right?
Very, very nice.
So now, of course, this is a smart contract. It has its own vulnerabilities. So yeah, there's some risk there.
Correct.
But I mean, it's a pretty simple action here, right?
Yeah.
It's straightforward. And we have an image here to kind of represent the actual use of this.
Yeah, a little flow here. And this is part of the Alex Lab interface because, you know, we got to participate in this, and this is what's kind of interesting about the STX20 token. Like now people are kind of like accessing these tools for the first time, bridging their L1 assets to this new environment and, you know, playing in this new playground, right?
Yeah.
So, and I've had some successful bridge attempts and I've had some non-successful ones that are still pending, right? So the user experience is like not 100% honed in yet. And this is kind of like,
well, it's 24 hours old, right?
well, yeah, but this is kind of expected, I guess. Like anytime there's like this new migration from L1 to L2, it's always like the most friction,
cumbersome and complicated.
It is. And us as developers, like we're gonna have to like educate our users about all this stuff into the future. It's like because eventually, because we know GameFi and DeFi, all these like super complex ecosystems and products of Web3, they cannot exist on layer 1.
Yeah, they just can't. You get priced out.
Yeah, it just doesn't work. There's just too much throughput demand for those types of products. So eventually all this is going to have to migrate to Stacks or some other competing, you know, L2 environment, right?
Yeah, all right. So let's take a look at this. So I think this is the video introducing the ultimate STX20 guide. The video walks you through 2 methods to minting these types of tokens using the Xverse wallet.
Yeah.
So obviously they say this is not financial advice, and that's 100% correct.
DYOR.
Yeah.
Yeah. So grand takeaway. So here we go. Let's just take a look at the market value of these 2, I guess, infrastructure components, right? You got Stacks itself and Alex.
Yeah.
Which is the governance token for this suite of like I guess protocol primitives, you know, bridging, swapping and such.
Yeah. I mean, Alex, it has a 200 million market cap, right? And it looks like it has taken off like a rocket ship.
Yeah, I think the market's starting to understand. It's kind of like slowly, but I feel like that understanding is going to come much more rapidly considering
100%
how crazy these fees are getting. I mean yesterday there was averaging like 500-600 V bytes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's among all-time highs for Bitcoin.
Yeah, we're talking $50-$60 transactions here.
And we've seen $100-$200 transactions on Ethereum.
We have.
So we're not even in the crazy era of this cycle yet.
Yeah, but it's already crazy enough to where it's definitely disrupting a lot of of the equilibrium, I guess, in the Bitcoin space. I mean, there's tons of friction among the maxis and the ordinal enjoyers and such.
It's a war in Twitter.
It's a war. It's a legitimate full-on war at this point. So right now, it's Munib's time to shine. Really step in.
Well, that Nakamoto upgrade is 6 months away, and it's like a forever away.
That is a long time. That is a long wait. Right, and I'm sure he's wishing he's like really...
Like, damn it, Casey, you came in too soon.
Yeah, I'm sure he's sitting there with his team. He's like, dude, like, why couldn't you guys have worked a little bit faster? You know, why wasn't this like a Q4 release, not Q2 2024? You know, because that would have been perfectly timed, right? So it's probably, I don't know. Unfortunately, we're stuck in this turtle mode for a while, but maybe it's perfect timing. Actually, the post happening.
It's true.
I don't know.
Yeah, and then finally, Stacks 1.7 billion.
Yeah.
And it's on its own heater.
Correct.
In the last, couple of months.
Yeah, but market is paying attention, dude.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. So, yeah, I mean, another token protocol. It's bringing eyeballs to layer 2.
The 100th token protocol.
Right. So we asked it like last week, you know, at what point is the oversaturation point?
We're right there.
Maybe. We'll see. But this one's a little different because like now it's just introducing people to something that I think a lot of people experiment who are new to Bitcoin.
Yeah.
They might not be aware that it even exists.
Yeah. You know what? You know what this reminds me of? QuickSwap.
Really?
Remember QuickSwap did 1,000x in like a month or something?
That's right. Yeah. People realize like just how much better it was.
Yeah.
But Polygon was already in like its, you know, the fees were like pennies back then. Remember?
It's true.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Need that Nakamoto upgrade for sure. Stacks.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Please, we're begging you.
All right, that's it for us. If you have any questions, let us know in the comment section below. Follow us on Twitter. And appreciate you guys for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.
Peace.